Well, joining me now to take a look at the proliferation of regional development commissions is the director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Dr. Sam Amadi. Thank you. It's good to see you again on Newsnight tonight. Every day there's always something to look at and dissect and see how it even it's relevant to the nation. Let's talk about this proliferation, because that's what it seems to be now. NEDC established in 2000, NEDC in 2017, of course, a Northwest Development Commission and Southeast Development Commission. Now you have Southwest. What do you make of this? Is this regionalism through the back door?
Well, I think two things. First, I think it was Karl Marx who said history repeats itself first as tragedy, then as farce. I think it's farcical because the first time we got Development Commission was during the regional period, the era of the First Republic. We had the Northern Nigeria Development Commission, Western Nigeria Development Commission, and Eastern Nigeria Development Commission. And they did a great job. What supported their work was that you had regional governments that authorized, so they were the vehicle for aggregating policies of development and executing policies of development, like we had the MITI in Japan, the Minister of International Trade and Investment. And you saw in Korea then the concept of the winter states, where a central agency is responsible for development planning and execution. Now what we're mimicking now, that's what I call it FASICA, is an arrangement where you have state governors independent. So there's nothing like Western Nigeria again, nothing like Eastern Nigeria and Northern Nigeria. So you have multiple states, 6 states in the Southwest, with their development trajectory and policies and programs. And then you have this Western Southwest, Development Commission, which then ostensibly execute some capital projects. So 3 things involved here. One is that there's no coherence in terms of a development commission that has mandate to drive development in a holistic sense, infrastructure development. 2 is that you're going to have federal appropriations and projects, interventions that are not rooted, and maybe one could argue duplication. There's no problem with federal government. They have Ministry of Work. They have, all the ministries have a federal scope. So if you have Ministry of Health, they can intervene in various states. But when you create a development commission, the argument is how does it relate to the states that have, the power of governance, including economic development, social development. So you have in Ondo a government that probably has an economic plan, has infrastructure development programs, have social health, you have in Ekiti, so how
would this fit in?
So something is missing. So I think this is like a mockery. It's a mimicry of a structure that worked within an existing and coherent legal legislative framework, Western government, Eastern Nigerian government.
But it doesn't even seem that that's the template
in
this particular instance. And the question as to why the functions of government, why are you leaving the functions of government to interventionist, agencies?
This started with...
Speaks to the duplication.
This started with the Northeast Development Commission, which was a special intervention, whether it makes sense or not, with the crisis of insecurity and disruption, so to say. And then Buhari mandated development agencies to pay more attention to the Northeast and its crisis. It made sense then, perhaps, as we created this agency that shares some things, palliative, intervene here and there. Typical of the Nigerian political structure. Once you create an agency that channels federal funding to a particular zone, you have to replicate it, even when there's no more. So there's no basis for this replication. The intervention should have been timed out, sunset law. Okay, maybe 3 years because of Boko Haram and all this devastation. Let's reshape, help to support the government exit out. Then you provide specialized interventions, maybe with climate change.
But in the real sense of it, if you went around this country, whether you went by air or by road, you discover that every part of Nigeria feels left behind. It's an emergency case that needs emergency developmental or development plans, if you like.
So we should have a Marshall Plan for Nigeria, and that's the point, that the country is failing in multiple ways. So look at infrastructure. Today, people can't travel by road. I mean, in spite of the high cost of air flight considered by household income. I mean, people should be flying, about 0% should be flying. People are struggling.
Going by road is not an option.
This is total a chaos, total emergency for everywhere. And so it seems to me that these development agencies will create 2 things, politics for leadership. For example, the Southeast zone has been passed. People are lobbying for who will be the chairman and the DG of these things. So you create another bureaucracy and struggle for power. But primarily, I think what we should do now is to step back and say, do you want to regionalize, number one? Two, even if you're not regionalizing, it makes sense to have a regional economic zone, but that should be by cooperation. So the model that we had in Southeast Summit, which is not federal government, which was an idea to create a Southeast Development Commission, which each of the states would domesticate in their law with clear physical policies on what they contribute, and focusing on infrastructural development that's regional in scope, electricity, rail, for example, security. So that kind of voluntary and integrationist approach, which means the regions, because they have a common market, scope,
or like in the case of the Southwest, you have the Odua.
Odua had the DAWN, the development agenda of Western Nigeria, which is more like policy making, nudging, soft laws. So they develop program and they customize across the states. That makes more sense than this kind of federalized, project oriented that has no policy, that they're not the ones thinking, because development has to be holistic. The state governors should collaborate on a platform where they own and where they can, kind of coherency, collaboration,
and have some kind of peer review
and drive it themselves.
So
I think this will crowd out attention, create perhaps conflict of interest, and waste resources.
There's the issue of funding too. We're hearing the funding will come from the Federation account and development partners.
Well, development partners are smarter, and they're going to target, look at, okay, you're going to fund Southwest development. If you're dealing with malaria, can't you fund different states that have Minister of Health that has efficacy in dealing with those challenges than putting into this nondescript, neither here nor there. It's not that the state it's not backed up with state authority. But if you have this state collaboration, which they enact in their own law, then it has a tie to legal authority, and then programmatically it can deliver. So I doubt if they will do that. Again, the reason why Northeast Development Commission had some traction was that it was clearly a case to deal with, and the development partners wanted to intervene Northeast, and they were measurable deliverables, but this is now becoming more like same everywhere.
Like job for the boys. Recall in the case of NDDC, there's a Niger Delta ministry.
In fact,
would that be a template? I mean, is that to be expected in with this new development commissions?
Well, I think it should.
That might have.
It might have. That's what I said. We copy a lot. So the people we had hyperdeck. People said he had umperdeck. He had Niger Delta. So those of us who have hydro, that's not the way to develop. So I think that even the NDDC people are saying, take out the Minister of Energy, the Minister of Niger Delta. It doesn't really matter. Focus NDDC as a policy. Do the master plan, and that master plan means somebody is thinking about this common problem, and when the problem seems to be solved, exit the agency. That's really Niger Delta will not be a permanent, in emergency case.
It depends on the figures they're looking at. 19 trillion has been spent on the NDDC so far since 2000. Whether it's justified or not.
Well, some good projects, but some waste. To streamline.
We'll have to leave it there. Dr. Sam Amadi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As always.